it was really hard to look at her and say, hey girl, the bag you just bought for your birthday as your birthday present and you saved money for it, the bag is actually fake. This is something horrible to do and I hate doing this. But she's my friend and I had to save her. Hi guys, welcome back and welcome back to Babsy Goes Vintage English channel, because yes, I have a French one in case you speak French. Well, my name is Barbara and I am a vintage second-hand handbag collector. So if you like this kind of topic, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next video. Today, I have a little sad story to tell you guys. I think it's always important to share stories because we always learn a lot, from them. And today I wanted to share with you the story of my friend that lives in Geneva. And well, she bought vintage Louis Vuitton Noé in the GM size in a second-hand boutique here in Geneva, and I discovered that the bag was actually fake. As I was saying before, it's never easy, to look at someone and say, hey girl, your bag is fake, etc. Because at least I don't like, to tell bad news. And yeah, I don't know, it's really awkward and it's really sad. And again, even if I have some knowledge, I'm not an expert, even if I know that a lot of people that has less knowledge call themselves experts. But again, I really like, to have a paper, a diploma or something that says you are a doctor, you are a lawyer, you are an authenticator. And it's not my case, but yeah, I spent the last 10 years buying and collecting vintage handbags. So I think sometimes, yes, I have my word, I can say something. So today I will be sharing with you her story, how I figured it out the bag was actually fake, and what I did to help her, at this moment in a coffee shop in Geneva, and yeah, the story and my tips and tricks to keep in mind when you go vintage or secondhand luxury shopping, because yes, it's a wonderful world, but there's a lot of scammers, a lot of people trying to sell fakes, a lot of trying, as we say in French, qui essayent de tirer leur épingle du jeu. So, take profit of the situation. I don't know if I can say this way, but yeah, so let's do it. Once upon a time, it was in October, I went, to a coffee shop. It was a Saturday afternoon, sunny day in Geneva. I went to a coffee shop to see my friend Jessica. And she arrived. She was super happy because it was 3 days before it was her birthday. And I see that she arrived with a new bag, vintage Louis Vuitton Noé. I can say it was vintage because the bag has this beautiful patina that arrives, with time, etc. And I was like, oh, I mean, what happened? She said, oh, look at my bag. I bought it as a birthday present. And I was like, oh yeah, beautiful. I love this bag. I had one. I gave it to my mother. But yeah, super cool. Congratulations. I'm super happy. It's a vintage or second hand. So bravo. I'm proud of you. And I remember that when I looked at the bag, I found the bag really like, the shape was really soft. And I remember that my Noe was not like this. The canvas was quite, thick. And I was like, it's okay. I think it's empty. She has nothing inside the bag. It's okay. We went, you know, to the coffee shop, etc. We arrived, we take off our coats, etc. And I don't know why, she put her bag in the table. So when she put the bag was it was like no shape. Like it was like a pancake, you know. It's like, okay, bizarre. And I don't know why. I don't know if I said, can I take it, or I took it. I took the bag. And when I took the handle, I mean the bandolier, the strap, the bandolier, the handle, my hand was like, bam, bam, bam. That's bizarre. Because my hand felt, I mean, I was expecting something like super thick, and I got something like this. And I was like, oh, that's really bizarre. And I told her, that's really strange. The strap is really thin. And I was like, excuse me, can I just, I told her, the canvas was soft. The strap was super thick, super thin. I asked her, I was like, can I just have a look on your bag? And she was like, yeah, 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 of course. So I asked her, okay, where did you buy the bag? And she said, oh, do you know this second-hand boutique in Geneva? And I was like, yeah, I know this boutique. And she was, yeah, I bought there, and it was around $500. I'm happy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, let's start, let's see if this bag is a fake or not. So the canvas was soft, the strap was thin, then the date code was super bizarre. I have other pictures, so I will insert them here. The date code was super thin. I mean, the typo was really bizarre too. I was like, okay. Then when I checked the Louis Vuitton made in Paris or made in France, I don't remember, made in France, the letters were super bizarre too. I was like, okay, there's a lot of bizarre stuff. And the hardware, the gold hardware, normally on a vintage handbag, it's supposed to be, the brass turns dark, and sometimes you even have some green things on it, because you have the oxidation, etc. And her hardware was gold, like shiny gold, super gold, like the bag was from the store. And I was like, no, that's not possible. It's impossible that the hardware is this, gold. So I asked her, okay, so you bought there. They gave you, I don't know, an invoice from Louis Vuitton or something. And she said, no, she said her client didn't have the invoice anymore, but she told me that if I want to be sure the bag is authentic, and she told me the bag is 100% authentic, well, I can go to the Louis Vuitton boutique in Geneva. And I was like, oh mon Dieu du ciel. Mamma mia, no, 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 no. I was like, when she said that, I went crazy, because I was like, no, c'est pas vrai. It's not true. You cannot go to Louis Vuitton with your bag and say, hey, can you please authenticate this bag? They will not. First of all, because they don't have this kind of service. They could do. I think luxury brands could, create an authentication service. Just saying, this would be really wonderful. So no, you cannot go to Louis Vuitton and to make them authenticate your bag, because they are there to sell, and a seller, SA, doesn't have the knowledge to authenticate a bag. So if someone say that to you, it's not true. So I was like, okay, you know what? Just let's do a little quick authentication of your bag. So when I want to authenticate a bag, what I do is I do a lot of research. So I think the best website to find, zoom in pictures, all the close-ups, etc., like super high quality pictures is on eBay. Just take a Japanese top seller and you will have the best pictures, you know, to authenticate your own bag. So it's what we did. So we went to eBay and we started, you know, looking at the pictures and tried to authenticate her bag. I checked the hardware and I was right. I checked a few bags and they all had the, you know, the brass hardware with the green thing on it, and the gold was not super shiny. The date code was, it was completely different. The Louis Vuitton made in France was completely different. I told her, I was like, you know what? We checked a few pictures. Your bag look, in my opinion, it's fake. I'm sorry, I am not an authenticator, so this is my feeling. You should send it, you know, to an authentication service so you're sure about it, because there is nothing worse than, you know, having the feeling your bag is not real. So we drank our coffee, then I went home, she went home, and she asked me, oh, do you have a service? Do you know a service where I can send my pictures? I said, I know one that is very good, but it's only for Chanel. But I think you can contact Real Authentication. I think they will be able to help you. And she was like, okay, I will, you know, take the pictures and send them. It was a Saturday evening, so I told her, you know what, I think they will reply to you in 24 or 48 hours. And she wrote me maybe 2 hours after, and she said, voila, I have the result, the bag is fake. They told me the bag is fake. Fortunately for her, the lady that sold the Louis Vuitton bag told her two things. One, of course the bag is real, you can go to the Louis Vuitton store. And the second one was, oh, if you can prove the bag is fake, you can come back and I will give your money back. So she was like, you know what, Monday I will go to the store with the paper and show her and just take my money back because the bag is fake, and I'm checking more pictures on Google, etc. And yes, the bag is fake. So Monday arrives, she goes to the boutique and she says, excuse me, madame, the bag is fake. Here's, you know, the paper. Can you please refund my money? And she told me that the seller was not really surprised. She was not, because normally when someone tells you, hey, the bag you sold me is fake, you might, you know, be, oh mon Dieu, SOS, it's the fire, please, someone help me, oh la 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 la. But no, she didn't react this way. She was super normal, super chill, like, oh really? Well, I will call my my client and ask her blah blah blah, and okay, I will give your money back, but you know, on the internet we can say anything, nothing, everything, and it doesn't mean the bag is fake. And she was like, I don't care, just give me my money back, and voila, that's it. So fortunately, it's a happy end because she was able to get her money back. And but she was like, I'm sure she knew the bag was fake. She just wanted, you know, to sell me a fake Louis Vuitton bag, saying that I could go to Louis Vuitton to check it, etc., etc. So what can we learn about this adventure, this sad story, but still with a happy end? For me, there is 3 things to keep in mind. First of all, especially if you are a beginner, you know, purchasing vintage and second-hand luxury. Okay, so thing number 1, be careful when you buy luxury items in a shop or in a situation, because it can be like a flea market, for example, when the person that sells the items to you or the shop is not an expert. It's like, it's more dangerous to buy a luxury item in a no luxury specialized shop than buying a luxury item in a luxury second-hand shop. Do you understand what I mean? Of course, there is always, we can never be 100% sure when you buy second-hand, but we can minimize the danger, because when you go purchase a bag in a flea market, in a no specialized boutique, or I don't know, on the marketplace on Facebook, you know, the danger is higher. You know what I mean? So I think when you start purchasing luxury items, you should avoid this kind of place. Of course, you can do find amazing deals, because voila, people sometimes they don't know what they are selling, and you might find something, an amazing deal. But I have the same story I will tell you one day. But yeah, I bought once a Chanel bag in a flea market. They said, oh, it's real. I touched the leather. I still have the bag, so I will be able to show you. It was like, oh my God, it's amazing, etc. I thought the bag was real and it was fake. And now when I buy a bag, I always do my research. And for a long time, I tried not to purchase from private sellers or, not specialized boutiques. Or if I did, I knew that I was taking a lot of risk. So this is my advice number one. Be careful if you don't buy a luxury item in a no luxury second-hand boutique. Advice number two.
Hi guys, this is the Babsi we never see on YouTube. I just got my wisdom teeth removed, that's why I'm looking this crazy and ugly. But I wanted to ask you something. I'm editing this video and I'm saying that you cannot go to Louis Vuitton, Hermes or Chanel to have your bag authenticated. And someone told me on my French channel that she was able to get her bag authenticated at Louis Vuitton. I will ask her more info about that. But I just need your help about this, because I've always heard that they don't provide this kind of service. And now I have someone telling me, that it's not true. So if you had an experience with Louis Vuitton, let's say, with having your bag or your item authenticated, just let me know, because I would love to to have updated info about that. And yeah, thank you in advance and sorry for this. See you soon. Bisous bisous. Bye.
If someone tells you that you can go to Chanel, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, whatever, to ask them to authenticate your bag, run. Run, because one, there is two possibilities and they are both bad. One, they are trying to scam you, to tell you this so you feel comfortable enough to buy the bag, and you will know later that you cannot do this because the brands don't authenticate their bags. They don't do this, so voila. Or two, the person has zero knowledge. They don't know, the brands don't do it. So again, you are taking an extra risk, because either the person is trying to scam you or either she doesn't know. So if she doesn't know, how can she tell you that her bag without invoice, etc., is actually real? If she doesn't have, this basic information. So for me, this is red flag number 2. Someone that tells me that, I just run. I don't want to talk to you. Don't talk to me. Just bye, thank you, next. It happened to me once when I was selling Chanel bag. The person that I knew wanted to buy the bag, and she said, oh, tomorrow we can go to the Chanel boutique in Geneva, so they will authenticate the bag. And I was like, no, we cannot go to Chanel. I tried to explain to her, and she thought that I was trying to scam her. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sell the bag for you. And I just sold it on Vestiaire Collective. The bag was a super beautiful vintage from the 80s wallet on chain. And it was authenticated, and voila. Because I just didn't want to waste my energy trying to explain something to someone that didn't want to listen to me. And yeah, she thought that I was trying to scam her, and I was like, look at my collection, look at, I'm not a reference in the market, but I know what I'm talking about. And if I tell you that Chanel doesn't authenticate, they doesn't. And I'm not sure that the essays will be able to authenticate even like the turn lock or the chain or whatever, because I mean, voila, end of the story. So this was my second red flag. And the last one is it's a little bit difficult, because if someone tells you, okay, you can buy the bag, and if you are not happy about it, or if if you can prove the bag is fake, I will give you your money back. This is something, it's really good. It's really good for your marketing. It's really good for your product, service, company, etc. Happy or your money back. We are quite used to it today. But in the case of my friend, this argument was used, to make her feel comfortable, to make her feel safe, and to make her forget her fear about the bag being fake, maybe. And it was not for her, her good, for her, like, for the product. It was just an argument to make her calm down and believe that the item was real. So this is really, really, it's a good argument. We are used to it, but in this situation, it was a sneaky, it was used, to scam her. And I was like, you know what? Fortunately, I was able to see the bag just 3 days after she bought it. I don't know. My question is, what if I sold the bag 3 weeks, 3 months after? Would the seller refund the money? I'm not sure about it, because she could say, oh, I sold you a bag that was like this, and this bag is not the bag I sold you, so you are trying to scam me. Do you understand what I mean? So it's really tricky. And I know that a lot of people is super scared about the vintage pre-loved markets, and I do understand. I did, and I still do some mistakes, but yeah, it's a beautiful world, as I always say. And you just need, to do your research, to read a lot, to do your research, to be passionate about it. And you will learn so many amazing things and some amazing info. So I can only, push you and encourage you to still give a chance to the vintage and pre-loved market. Guys, thank you for, if you're still here, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this new kind of content. I will be back with some horror story that I had. I have a few ones. I lost money. I bought a fake bag. Once a husband, it was a revenge handbag selling. He was divorcing, and he sold me his wife bag. She called me, she wanted to call the lawyer. It was the carnival, but voilà. Thank you again. Je vous fais des gros bisous et je vous dis see you in the next video. Bye.